Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Joshua Holm. This channel is Heal with Joshua Holm, where you heal with me and learn from my experience as I'm healing myself from a decade and more of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, self-abuse, and a lifetime of dietary abuse. So for the last few years, I have been working to get my health on track, and I've been free from I was smoking a pack of cigarettes a day since I was like 14 years old up until the age I was about 21. I was smoking maybe not a full pack of cigarettes every day for that long, but that was probably the average. It was a lot of smoking Camels and Marlboros, and then later, as I was getting healthier, I was smoking American Spirits. And I've since, over the last several years, had certain sporadic off and on relationships with smoking. I've chewed a lot of nicotine gum, especially since it sort of became like one of the darlings of the health, one of the health trends. But I've since quit chewing gum, I've quit smoking. But what I'm interested now, since doing this, is my longevity. And I want to wake up feeling great every single day. And I know that that after all those years of smoking, that I probably do have some residual damage in my lungs. So this video is about how I'm going about checking my lungs, healing my lungs, and some of my opinions on healing lungs. Which, who cares about my opinions? Like, I'm not a doctor or anything, okay? Like, you shouldn't be wholeheartedly listening to me. But I'm going at this the same way you would. I'm sort of a YouTube peruser as well, and I've sort of garnered tons of information just from podcasts and YouTube and reading books and those kinds of things, and this is sort of what I've landed on. One of the first things that's really important, I think, is checking your lungs. And what I learned was from reading he's this Australian dude. I think he's Australian. But he wrote a book called The Oxygen Advantage. And in that book, he talks about a lot of things that are really important. One is never sleep with your mouth open. Tape your mouth, always breathe through your nose. And so I've adopted that. I've taped my mouth closed at night as I'm sleeping, because I've caught myself many, many times waking up and breathing out of my mouth, which is a big, big no-no. But he talks about measuring your BOLT score. And your BOLT score is your breath oxygen level test. And that is when you're sitting down for about 5 minutes. And you're just kind of normal. Your heart rate's just at base level, and you're not doing anything with your breath, and then all of a sudden you take a deep breath, you exhale, and then you sit there and you wait, and you time it, and the time that it takes before you feel like you really need to breathe, and you're not holding it as long as possible, right? Until you're have the gasp reflex and you're finally dying for air. You don't do that. You wait for a pretty strong indicator that you should breathe, and then you breathe. And if you're kind of panting afterward, then you waited too long. You want to return back to normal breathing. All right? And a good time is about 25 seconds. So if you're under that, then it means that you've got some improvement to do. Luckily for us smokers who have a lot of time in our time on our side, meaning we've quit years and years ago, but now we want to get healthier, our lungs do actually heal very nicely, and smokers actually can go on to detoxify their lungs, and their lungs can replenish. They don't regenerate, but they heal pretty nicely. And so the number one thing to heal your lungs is just time. Allow time. The second thing that I'm doing is using a cool mist humidifier. And you just take, it's a humidifier that's cool mist ultrasonic, and you turn it on, you fill it up with spring water, really nice, fresh, living spring water. That's the best water, but of course you can use distilled water as well. And you fill it up, turn it on, and you just waft it in, you breathe. And as you breathe, your lungs are filling up with tiny little vapors of water, and it's really moisturizing your lungs, because that's one of the things is with smokers, we dry out our lungs, and not only that, but it's like moisturizing your sinuses, which is really nicely to help you breathe at night and not have to tape your mouth. And then the third thing that I'm doing is breath exercises. And the number one thing that I do is I just stand up straight and I take a deep breath and I pack my lungs. And I'll do that intermittently throughout the day, because that's the most practical thing that you can do. You can do that as you're walking down the street. You can do that. Don't do it while you're like driving or swimming, because you could pass out and hurt yourself. But you can do that pretty much anywhere. Then the second thing is to do controlled coughing, and that can really open things up, and that's actually recommended by doctors. So, you know, I'm not claiming to be a doctor, but I have read this on doctors' websites. I don't believe everything a doctor says, but I mean, in this case, it makes sense. Pack your lungs, go like that, and that's supposed to help break up some of the crap that's in your lungs and be able to expel it. And the fourth thing that you could be doing is taking certain lung herbs, like American Ginseng is cooling, moisturizing to the lungs. And you know, the Chinese also use licorice root as a lung tonic. So those things are definitely a part of my strategy. And those are the things that I wanted to include in this video. You know, if there's anything that you're doing, anything that I should know about, please comment and let me know, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video. But so far, I'm just documenting the things that I'm doing, and I'm more than happy to bring on things that make a lot of sense. And also, if I forgot anything, I'll make a follow-up video and include it as well. So that would be the checking your Bolt score to kind of see where you're at. That's a really good idea. The second thing is time. Just allow yourself to go a long time without smoking, secondhand smoke, anything like that. And then the third thing is deep breathing. You could do the Wim Hof breathing too. The fourth thing is the controlled coughing, and then the fifth thing is the lung Chinese tonic herbs. And yeah, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell. That'd be awesome. And until next time, God bless you. Take care.